wish that I had a squirt bottle, because then we just squirt you in the face. Then we just get full raccoon mode. It would be great fun. Do you have any questions on the quiz I just gave back first? Number 5. Oh, yeah, you don't have it yet. Let me hand it to you.
We didn't get anything wrong. You just got beautiful colors.
My unit 1.
You did tell me before.
You did what?
Found my unit 1.
Yay. I saw you submitted some stuff on Classroom. I haven't looked at it yet, but I saw that it happened.
Why is there so much color? I didn't
I know, that's what I was wondering. Why is it so
Because they spilled water on it, so all of
Yours was probably next to Lucy's.
Mine, I think, was on top. So.
Yeah, yeah. You'll have to look on Classroom. I don't know. I don't have it memorized. Okay, so we're doing number 5 from the quiz. Is that right? Great. Yeah, let's do it. Number 5 from the quiz. Yeah, let's see if I have one I can let you borrow. If not, you're going to have to borrow one from somebody else. Can you have a piece of paper? You're definitely going to have to ask somebody else for that, because I ain't got no pen. I ain't got no papers. I have a pencil, but don't have an eraser, so good luck. Okay, so number 5 from the quiz was 5 plus 2 times the quantity n plus 1 equals 2n. And we were supposed to solve. That's okay, we're going to do it anyway because you weren't the only one that was wanting to do it. Oh yeah, we are missing a 1. Y'all want to know something that's kind of crazy? Slightly. We are starting to develop a regular viewership in pre-calculus. That's never happened before. But like we have, not only do we have people popping in randomly, but we have like the same people popping in. It's very strange. No, pre-calculus, not Algebra 1. Okay, so what should we do, kiddos? Okay, just to be clear, that joke hasn't been funny for a while.
I know.
It was maybe funny a time or two, maybe. But it's not funny anymore. Distribute sounds great. Now, there are 2 easy mistakes to make. One is turning that into a 7. Why can I not do that? Multiplication first, actually, really, because we're not really doing anything in the parentheses, right? But multiplication comes before addition, so we can't grab those yet, right? So that's an easy mistake to make. Another easy mistake to make would be like somehow trying to distribute both things at once, which is probably the same thing, right? So you can't combine those, but we can go ahead and distribute the 2. Sounds good. What's 2 times n? Yeah. What's 2 times 1? 2. Now what? Yeah, where are they? 5 and 2, sure. Sometimes teaching Algebra 1 is painful, but it's okay. It's my pain, not y'all's pain. And it's not because of y'all, it's just where you are.
I agree with that fully.
What should we do now? Subtract 2n on both sides. Sounds great.
And then no solution? Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to figure out who's going to pick me up.
Ah, that's like in an hour.
Okay, that makes sense. I accidentally made the 5 plus 2 is 7.
Yep, that's what I did.
I made the 2 as
So no solution, right? Because 0 does not, in fact, equal 7. All right, let's do today's stuff.
Yeah, I made the 2 as well. So.
Can you wait a second so I can get there?
I didn't do that.
Arguably, this lesson is the one that people make the most mistakes on. I will also throw out there that if you're, I've said this before, it probably won't be the last time. This is, in fact, Algebra 1. So if you are not doing the notes video and the homework before you come to class on a regular basis. Every once in a while life happens. We understand this. But if you're doing that on a regular basis, you should stop doing it that way. That's the wrong order. And the order is the order for a reason. It's not just like being obnoxious. The due date isn't yesterday for no reason. You will learn better. You will get more from it if you do it in the order I have given you. It's almost like I've done this before. I've done this lots of time, and every year that I've taught homeschool math classes has gotten better, except the second year. But we won't speak of the second year. I tried an experiment and it failed. Not miserably. It wasn't awful. Those kids are fine, but it didn't get better. It got worse. But then we have improved steadily since then. So if you will play my game is not there for you to do busy work. We've been over this before. I don't like busy work. I'm not going to give you busy work. I don't want to grade busy work. I don't want to even grade regular work, much less busy work. So do the work that I ask you in the order and in the time that I'm telling you to do it, and you will be glad you did.
Some people are doing the order as in like they're doing the homework and then
If it's not you, don't worry about it.
yeah, I was just wondering if I'm doing
Some people are waiting till either the day of or even after, consistently, to turn in their work. But it's not you, so don't worry about it. At least I don't think it's you. It might be you. I don't know. But I don't think it is.
I think I forgot to turn mine in.
Sometimes, and I know that happens too. Sometimes we just forget to turn it in, and we're doing it in the right order. We're just forgetting to turn it in. I get that too. That's fine.
I did my homework in that video and then
Okay, so back to absolute value. This is not actually difficult. It isn't. It's honestly the same difficulty as the other. There's just an extra step in there, and you got to remember to do it. And for some reason, if you don't lock in, you're not going to remember, and you're going to fail that question on the test. Okay? So focus on this one. I don't know. Look on Google Classroom. Okay. We did. Yeah, that sounds right. 22 is 8 and negative 2. 24 is no solution. 26 is 2 and negative 3.25. Yes, fractions are fine, right? 28 is no solution. 30 is 16 and negative 8. 32a is 4 minutes 5 seconds and 3 minutes 55 seconds. 32b is 235 seconds and 245 seconds. 34 is absolute value of x equals 6. 36 is absolute value of x plus 2 equals 4. 38 is negative 3 halves and 9 halves. 40 is 55 and negative 5.5. 42 is 2 and negative 2. Another note. I have been more caught up in grading Google Classroom assignments. What that means for you is it is more likely that I actually count off when you do half the homework, or you don't do any of the homework and you just write down answers or whatever else and turn that in. Why would I count off when you don't do the work? Why would I do that? What is the point of that? Because here's the deal, I don't give a rat's butt about grades. I really don't. If I felt like y'all would do what you need to do without me grading a dang thing, I would never grade a dang thing in my life. Because I hate grading. It's terrible. It's not fun at all. So why do I do that? So no, it's not punishment. And there are plenty of teachers that is why. That's exactly why. That is 100% why. So yes, it is for that, but for homework, it's just completion, right? You did it. You turned something in. There's a page. Beautiful. It's great. All the things. If you're not doing your homework, you're not going to get good grades on the other stuff, where you have to check in and see what, because the quizzes and the tests are where we both check in and be like, oh, They didn't understand this. Homework is where you check in. That's why I gave you the answers. Where you check in, right? Make sense? I'm not saying like if you didn't do the homework, you shouldn't write down the answers or whatever, because then you can still use them to check when you actually do the homework, and So don't misunderstand me. I'm not really yelling at anybody. I just want to make sure that we all are understanding the trajectory that we need to be on. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. I know some of you who used to go to public school, and I know in public school you do a lot of game playing a lot of times. You do that. Sometimes you get in a bad habit of playing the game, which is sad because there's plenty of public school that's great. So if you've gotten used to playing a game, whether it's because you're homeschooled or public schooled or whatever, try to break that habit because it'll be a frustrating habit. Don't worry, you're fine. Okay.
I know what game.
It's just like, well, yeah, there's lots of games you can play. Lots of games of doing work to jump through the hoops to get the number that your parent won't ground you for, instead of stopping to figure out why the number existed in the first place. What questions do we have from today's lesson? Okay, good. Somebody asked for something. What were you going to ask for? 32. 22 and 32 so far. We'll see what happens after that. Well, I'm only going to write down 2 for now, but we'll see what happens. You're scared? Did you just say you're scared? Shucks. Yeah, but something that you said before that. This happens partially because there's a lot of margin in Algebra 1 and partially because of the age your brains are at right now. But I do a lot more preaching in Algebra 1 than any other class. It's just true. It just happens. I'm going to give you a lot more life lessons. And I promise you, if you'll listen to them, it'll be helpful. You ready for your life lesson? Your life lesson. Life lesson number one is just because you get lice doesn't mean you're dirty. Like you can get lice randomly because you were around lice. You never know. It happened. That was not what I was going to talk about. What I was going to say is these things are the flippin' devil if you let them be.
Yes, they really are.
They are good for you. Great. These things are a distraction, and they suck you in like nothing else. And I know that multiples of you get distracted by these things in my class. I don't ban cell phones. I could. I totally could. I do not ban cell phones. I would encourage you to self-assess. And if this is a distraction, turn the notifications off for class so you're not distracted, so you don't miss something that will help you turn the 50 into a 95 or at least a 70 or whatever, right? Making sense? To be clear, nobody in this class is doing unbelievably awful. Like, I'm not currently worried about anybody.
It's okay, you don't have to watch.
No, I don't. I really don't lie about that kind of stuff. If you're like, now some of you need to do corrections. Some of you, that needs to happen. Some of you that haven't done corrections need to do corrections. That's absolutely true. Why do I even do corrections?
So we can fix our grade.
Understand what we
It is, I already said today that I don't give a rat's butt about your grade. I don't care.
Understand what you did wrong.
Yeah, so you can figure out the thing. Because if you haven't figured this out yet, math builds on itself. So if you don't know how to do this thing, then the house of cards is going to crumble by the time you get to this thing. Okay, number 22. Here we go.
What would the grade be if I did test corrections?
You need to do test corrections if you feel like you need to do test corrections. I don't have any mandated cutoff. If you made a 95 or above, don't do test corrections. I know if you made a 95 or above, you're probably going to do test corrections because that's what you do. It's fine, but it doesn't math very much.
Well, I've never done it because I didn't know that I was supposed to do that.
Yeah. Test corrections are great. They're very useful.
Do I do them on homework or just on test?
I should make you go back and watch the streams that you should have watched a long time ago to answer that question, but I guess I won't. you do it on a separate piece of paper. You correct all the ones that you miss. They have to be, what?
Oh, my homework?
No, you don't correct homework. Homework, this is correcting homework. Quizzes and tests. Tests, you turn in paper on person. Quizzes, you turn in through Google Classroom.
Okay. Now I
Great, yeah, I mean, we are correcting your homework as we speak, quote unquote.
What's the latest you can turn your quiz corrections?
Eventually. There isn't really a cutoff date. But if you turn them in like the last week of school in May, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, no. Just probably going to be like, nah. If I get Unit 1 corrections in May, I'm probably going to be like, I'm not even looking at that. Sorry. Anyway, what should we do? No, we would not plus the 3. Did you watch the video? Okay, good. So what did we do? We didn't start adding the 3 yet. What did we do? We make 2 equations. How do we know if we can make 2 equations already? Because we could have to do something first. All right, what has to be true? You were going to say something. Say it. I want to hear it.
was just going to say, because that makes the 3 a positive, so you could do plus 3 on 5.
We are going to do that. That's true. That's not answering the question I was asking, but we can do that in a minute. We can do that in a minute. If the absolute value is by itself is the answer to my question. If the absolute value doesn't have anything like over here, now we can split it into 2, right?
Yeah.
We split it into 2, right? You remember seeing this in the video? Yes? Good. You don't know what?
I still don't know why.
Why is because what does absolute value do? That's almost always a great question. If it's not a great question at the moment, I'll tell you. But why is almost always a great question. I'll tell you right now, if you stop to think about why on math more often, you'll get more math right. That's just totally true. So why? Why? It's because what is absolute value? What is the absolute value of 4? 4. What is the absolute value of negative 4? 4. So absolute value turns everything inside of it positive. So because that's true, if this comes out to be 5, great. If this comes out to be negative 5, great. Right? Because either way, that's why we split it into 2, because of that. So we split it into a positive version, right? The n minus 3 equals 5. And the negative version, negative n minus 3 equals 5. Now I know, oh look, there's somebody watching on the internet. This looks like somebody, oh, he was watching. Hello again. Oh, I don't know. I think that's the guy from United Arab Emirates, and he shows up in streams like here and there, and he almost always just says something nice, and it's kind of funny. Like this morning, it was like, I've got to study for a test, but I thought I'd say hi, and good luck. So whatever. Anyway. Anyway, what I was saying to the people on the internet that aren't currently there but could be eventually, who knows? I know that there's a shortcut way to do this. This is Algebra 1. Give us a break. Great. So we got a positive version and the negative version. So over here, what do? That's easy money, right? What do we do over here? Plus 5. That's true. That's totally true. Plus 5. Plus 3 is what y'all said. And it's what we do. So n equals 7. Great. Oh, 8. My brain is not braining today. I have made more whiteboard mistakes today than like this year combined. I don't know where my brain is today. All right, what are we going to do over here? Oh, look, you came back. Now you can confirm whether you were the guy from UAE or not. The one and only. Yep. So I said this earlier, but I don't know if you went back watched. If I'm remembering correct, and your name is pronounced Safe. Is that how we say your name? Okay. What do we do over here? Yes, but also no. Because I'm gonna. So yes, we could distribute, but I'm gonna push you in a little bit different direction. This negative 1 is attached to everything, right? So we could also get rid of him another way, and yes, we could do. What did you just say? That's great. We could do that.
You're so smart.
We could divide by -1. n minus 3 equals, what is 5 divided by negative 1? Negative 5. Now what could we do? Plus 5. Did he say yes?
Yeah.
I was right?
He said, yeah, you got it right.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
You said plus 5.
I did, but at least I wrote the right thing this time. Negative 5 plus 3 is what? Negative 2. You really, on absolute value, want to check these, especially when we get to absolute value inequalities, to see whether these work. Get in the habit of checking. So we put 8 minus 3 in here. We get 5. Absolute value of 5 is 5. Great. Put negative 2 in here. Negative 2 minus 3 is what? Negative 5. Absolute value of negative 5 is 5. Great. They work. All right, we're going to do 32. Was the other one we were going to do?
42.
No, 32.
Oh.
But you
I
probably...
said, what was the other one that we did?
I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You better be sorry. No, I'm just kidding.
We will be. I will be.
You will be.
If you tell me to be sorry, I will be sorry.
32. Cheerleading. The circle graph at the right shows the results of a survey that asked, how likely is it that you will be rich someday? Wait, now I'm reading the wrong one. This is not cheerleading. What happened? What happened? Just kidding. Try again. 32. 32. Cheerleading. Yay. For competition. The cheerleading. What? My arms weren't straight. It's true, they weren't. I'll be fine. Anyway, is preparing a dance routine that must last 4 minutes with a variation of plus or minus 5 seconds. Find the least and greatest possible times for the routine in minutes and seconds. Great. So it's supposed to be 4 minutes plus or minus 5 seconds. So what's 4 minutes plus 5 seconds? 4 minutes, 5 seconds. Great. And then minus 5 seconds. What's 4 minutes, 5 seconds? 3 minutes, 55 seconds. And then for part B, it says to write those in seconds, right? So we got to convert those to seconds. Now, you should have learned this in pre-algebra really well. If you didn't take Rochelle for pre-algebra, or if you learned converting units in another location, you may have learned it a different way. You may have learned to do it using a proportion. There's not necessarily anything wrong with doing that. However, I'm going to tell you to stop doing it that way. And the reason I'm going to tell you, see you later, safe. The reason I am going to tell you to do it this other way is because this other way works. No matter what you're converting or when, or if you're converting a bunch of things, even when you get later to stoichiometry in chemistry, it still works, even when you got moles and all kinds of weird stuff. So I'm going to encourage you to do unit conversions this way. Step 1 of this method for doing unit conversions is write down the number with the units. So 4. I'm doing this one first. All right, don't worry about this. We'll add that in a minute. 4 minutes. Then you put that over 1. Then you ask yourself a nice little question. Is that the units I want? Yes or no? No. If the answer is no, you add a times fraction bar. Then you put the units wherever they're going to cancel. So if I want to cancel if I want to cancel minutes, does it need to be on the top or the bottom? Bottom. Then I ask myself, where am I going? What units am I trying to go to? Seconds. Then you have to ask yourself one more thing, because we may have a bunch of fraction bars, but do I know a conversion from minutes to seconds? Yes or no? Yes. So I can go ahead and put seconds. I know this one's easy. This one's just a single step. And I know this feels like a lot of nonsense for an easy problem. I get it. They're not always easy. And so if you get in the habit of doing it this way, always, then even when they get not easy, you're good, right? So, how many seconds in a minute? 60. 60. Minutes on the bottom. So since they're both on the top, what are we going to do? Multiply. What's 4 times 60? 240 plus 5 is 245. 245 seconds. Now we've already done this conversion. We don't have to do it twice. We just have to subtract 5 from that one, right? So 235 seconds. Great. Grand, glorious. Now 42. 1 Mississippi.
You can't set yourself up like that.
You-
You guys, wait, I figured out a new secret to hot chocolate.
that was random slightly.
Get a Andes mix, drop it in, you'll never be the same.
You want to know what a secret to hot chocolate is? Like, make hot chocolate instead of buying packet hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That's the secret to making hot chocolate. That's also the secret to making mac and cheese.
Yes.
And if you want to make extra creamy mac and cheese,
Yes.
if you want to make like really good extra creamy mac and cheese, stop! Thank you. Please. Oh my gosh. Anyway, if you want to make extra creamy mac and cheese, and you do, even if you bake it, I'm telling you right now, you want to make extra creamy mac and cheese, because who doesn't want extra creamy mac and cheese? If you don't, then I feel sad for you. You just go, in order to do that, here's what you do. You ready? You get you some sodium citrate.
That sounds great.
It's not a poison. See, that's my, okay, this is a brief preaching because we got to get back to math because we got, there's a lot, there's plenty today. Hey, so, I hate that so much. When people are like, this is full of chemicals. No crap. No crap, it's full of chemicals. Everything is chemicals. This is chemicals. The water is chemicals. It's all chemicals. Chemicals is just matter. Just because you can't pronounce, you want to know why, here's the other thing. You want to know the other thing? And people are like, oh my gosh, in Europe they can't. Yes, they do. They put all the same crap in it that we do. They just aren't mandated by the country to put it on the label. The FDA says you've got to itemize all this crap. Sodium citrate is just a salt. It's just an ionic compound. It's an emulsifier.
There's a barbecue place in, like, out of town a little bit. They have the best mac and cheese because it's, like, really creamy and
Wait,
stuff.
is it
And
that
then they
one
have,
that's
like,
like
little
bacon?
bits of bacon in it. Oh, my
Sounds
God.
really good.
Sometimes I'm amazing at cooking bacon, but sometimes I'm really bad.
Hey,
Those
it
like
may-
Kraft mac and cheese cups,
Yeah,
I messed it up
Yeah,
so
they
bad
want
that it was
like a couple
unedible.
words.
Okay? Like it was edible, but
All right. All right, kids. We finally got one that's tricky.
Ooh, I'm scared.
This one's tricksy. It's not hard, but it's tricksy. So I said at the very first one that we did that what has to be true before we split it into two. No, that isn't it. Although that's a clue that's going to happen later. Yeah, the absolute value's got to be by itself. Is the absolute value by itself? Definitely no. Not no, but heck no. So we got to get him by himself first. Okay, so the 4 is actually on the top, so you'd actually divide by 4, but this is also on the bottom, so it's all discombobulated. What would be easier to get rid of first before we take care of the 4? The 12. Yeah, let's take care of him first. How do we get rid of the 12? Minus 12. That's easy money, right?
We lost money.
Am I sick?
Are you what?
Sideways.
Y'all want to know something else? This one is not as soapboxy. I'm not going to scream at you about this one. But most of the time, now there's a few exceptions, most of the time, when people say American cheese is fake cheese, they're wrong. American cheese is real cheese. It's just emulsified with either water or milk. Anyway, throwing that out there. Now, there are a few specific brands and specific things that is fake cheese and doesn't have any dairy in it. And it probably says dairy free. Anyway, what should we do now? No, can't multiply 4. 4 times 4 is 16.
Can you divide it?
Okay, I'm gonna, since we're hot off the heels of junior high math, I'm gonna kind of show you this problem written a different way slightly.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Can you multiply 4? Or just divide it? Oh, wow.
2 is 2 over 1, right? Okay, so that's fine. Now, I wrote it now like a proportion, right? How do you solve a proportion? That's the second step. There is a divide, but there's something you do first. No, okay, so I'm glad you said that. Okay, so now, because I was actually going to say something about that in a minute. So you multiply fractions straight across. Don't forget that, right? If I have 3/4 times 1/2, then that is 3/8, right? Because you multiply top and bottom together. However, that's not a times symbol, is it?
No.
That's an equal symbol. When you're solving a proportion, you cross multiply. What's absolute value of p times 2? 2 absolute value of p, right? Yeah. What's 4 times 1? 4. Welcome back. Now what?
Divide 2
Yes.
and 2 and then 4 and 2.
Yes.
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 Look at me.
You're on fire today, girly.
Hey, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Voice crack.
Don't worry, I'm 41 years old and sometimes my voice cracks still when I get excited, so it just happens. Now what?
Keep going.
That's true. Go where?
P.
The moon.
We've got the absolute value by itself. What's the next step after that?
Contribute the P.
Contribute it? One, we're almost there, but we're not done.
Just get rid of the absolute value.
We do need to get rid of the absolute value. How do we get rid of absolute value?
Oh, wait.
We split it into 2, right? Right. Okay. So P equals positive 2 and P equals negative 2, right? Positive version and the negative version. Now, if you want to be really fancy on one like this, if you're feeling extra fancy, you could say P equals plus or minus 2. Wow.
Let's keep going.
Keep going. What? Where are we going? All right. Do you have any other questions?
Yes. Oh. 1 second. I know I do. I have to find it. Oh, 38, please.
What are your questions? Which part are you not getting right now? I'm glad you said that in a way. I'm not glad you felt that, but I'm glad you said it because hopefully we can help you not feel it. And by you, I mean everybody, right? Yes. Right? So what your brain should be doing when we are going over homework questions is thinking, okay, do I get this? Do I not? Which part do I not? And if there is, I don't get this or I don't get this part, you should be asking a question about that thing. Because then you can figure out what we don't understand and then you can make a good grade on the quiz.
Were we supposed to graph them? It said graph.
Yeah, it said
but
graph.
I
I was
didn't
confused.
really understand.
Okay, great question. So, so I don't, on non-inequalities, I don't even worry about graphing, but that's what it wanted. Like say the answers were -6 and 2, your graphed answer would be -6 dot 2 dot, right? I don't worry about that until we get inequalities and we have to shade stuff. So, yeah, you can ignore that direction on this question.
That's what I was confused about. I was like, I don't think we learned about that in Ned's video. And I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what that means.
It's silly to do that if there's not an inequality, in my opinion. They're kind of getting you ready for the inequality is why they say to grab it. That's what they're doing. But what other questions do we have, kids? Where else are we confused?
Because there's a whole bunch of stuff in the bars.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, good.
Bars.
Yeah.
38 is honestly really easy, but it looks scary, right? So let's do it.
I want to know it because I got almost all of them wrong because I didn't get one thing and it jacked me up.
Do you understand the one thing? Oh, good. Then you may not actually have as many questions as you think then,
Yeah,
right?
I
Right.
just want to make sure I got it down before I'm thrown into the wolves.
Thrown into the wolves.
I don't want that to happen.
What has to be true before we split it into two?
The absolute has to be by itself.
Has to be by itself. Is it by itself?
No.
It is. He's just got a lot of junk in him. He's complicated, right? But he's by himself.
He's got baggage.
He's got baggage.
Exactly.
So since he's by himself, now what do we do? Split it into two. Another thought, because see, this happens a lot. I know this is not the only class because I know one of your other teachers, she's amazing. And so I know this happens too. So whenever I start saying stuff out loud or turn around or whatever, chit chat happens. And I don't care too much about chit chat, but here's my problem. Here's my issue. Is when I ask a question out loud, I'm usually wanting you to think about it, right? And because if you think about it and you'll engage mentally with it, then if you have a problem, you'll probably fix it, right? And so if your habit is to chit chat as soon as I start whatever, probably like think about the timing of your chit chat, okay? So that you get it, and you may be thinking, well, I get it. Your neighbor might not. So think about it, right? I'm not saying we can't jog and we can't have fun, but I'm saying think about what we're doing and when we're doing it. So it's by itself. When it's by itself, what is our next step? Split it into two. Split it into two. What's the positive version?
40
Negative 4b plus 6 equals 12.
And what would the negative version be?
Negative with parentheses 4, negative 4b plus 6 equals 12.
Great. Now what?
Oh, you can ka-chink that.
No, you can't. But I'm glad you said that. You say, y'all, I don't know if y'all have noticed. I don't know if y'all have noticed how many times I say that phrase. Don't be afraid to answer stuff because 98.5% of the time, everybody in the room learns more when you say something wrong. Because when you say something wrong, it gives me the opportunity to explain why it's wrong, and then you learn the thing. So don't be afraid to answer questions. We generally aren't in this class. Y'all are quite the talkative bunch. But yeah, we can't ka-chink that. Why not? Because there's all this other junk in there. If this wasn't here, we would ka-chink it. If we want to ka-chink it, we got to distribute it. But how else can we get rid of it? Divide by -1, which is what we're going to do on this problem. I know that normally I let us do kind of whatever y'all say as long as it is legal, right? But on this one, there's a reason why I'm kind of pushing us towards doing this one this way. It's because of a shortcut. You probably could already figure out the shortcut if you think about it for half a second. But that's fine. We're not there yet. Algebra 2. Algebra 2 is when I start really pushing shortcuts hard because you need to be thinking about things, having more things. What are we going to do over here?
Wait, so we're done on this part?
What?
No, we're just slow down.
Okay.
Do we have D equals something? What are we going to do right here? -6. Same thing over here, right? How are we doing? Have I made mistakes yet? I've been making mistakes a lot today, so it wouldn't surprise me. I keep saying wrong things and writing wrong things. As the brain is not here today. What should we do now? Divide by -4. Sounds great, grand, and glorious.
Wow.
So what does D equal?
No idea.
¿Por qué no?
Something. Words.
And what else?
2 over
4 1/2.
Ow.
Take 6.
Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
My finger.
My brain hasn't been braining the past 5 months.
Generally speaking, I won't count off as long as it's reduced. If you leave an answer, and I probably wouldn't on one of these either. If you left it as a reduced improper fraction, I probably wouldn't scream about it. Like if you wrote 3/2 for that one, it'd probably be fine. The reason why I did pull this one in, why I decided to agree with y'all and put this into a mixed number is because when this is an inequality, we are going to graph them. And when we're going to graph numbers, where is 27 halves? I don't know. We got a mixed number. We can figure that out, right? Yeah. Great. There is 1 or 2 problems that I expected questions on and haven't had them on yet. So either everybody's got it or you don't got it.
Which ones?
I'm not telling you. That defeats the purpose. Do you know how to do 30 and 28?
Oh, you were expecting no solution ones working.
No.
Oh.
No solution ones are easy. As long as you know it. What? Which one? What'd you say? I figured y'all would ask about 34 and 36, but maybe y'all got it.
Oh no, please.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you should ask about them, right?
34, 36.
Yeah, we can. 34 and 36 are the ones where we get a picture and they're like, write an absolute value equation, right? They're honestly pretty easy, but if memory serves, I didn't do any of them in the video. Am I right? Is that correct? Yeah. So y'all would have done one of 3 things on your homework. You had 3 possibilities. One of them is technically the wrong answer, although in this one case, I wouldn't count off for it. Because not doing them and putting a question mark is not ever the right answer. You should always engage with it. However, I didn't cover it all in the video, so I probably would have been like, that's fine, whatever. Right? So the other 2 possibilities is, number 2, is you could have gone over here and said, oh, example 4. What does example 4? And then, oh, that's how to do it, and then done it. Third possibility is look it up on the internet, right? So anyway, but we're going to do it today. Okay, so let's do it. So we have a number line. It's beautiful. Look at it.
Wow.
And we have a dot at -6.
Which one is this one?
And we have a dot at 6.
Thank you.
So we need to know, so what is absolute value? What is the y of absolute value? Where does it exist?
It's so you know how far it is from 0.
It does exist in life. It exists in all kinds of life situations. Absolute value absolutely does. Absolute value, the idea of absolute value is the distance in either direction from a fixed point. That's what absolute value is, right? So anytime you have plus or minus 5 yards, plus or minus this, that's absolute value. Mathematically, that's what it is. So we need to know 2 things in order to be able to write the absolute value equation. We need to know the middle and how far the points are from the middle. So what's the middle of these 2 points? 0. So inside the absolute value, it's just x. X minus 0 technically, but x. How far are those points from x? 6. Done. Easy peasy. Let's do the one that's a little bit trickier. One that's a little bit trickier is, see, that was good. See, I wasn't saying anything out loud and you were chit-chatting. That was good timing. See, it's good. Can't just point out the mistakes. We've got to point out the good things. Then we know what to do instead of not just what not to do. Right? Right. Great. Moving on. Delicious. I know I am. Thank you. -6. I don't mean like literally. I meant metaphorically. Right?
Metaphorical.
2. All right, we still need to know 2 things. We need to know the middle, and we need to know how far the numbers are from the middle. Where's the middle?
Charlotte.
The middle is not Charlotte. Actually, she kind of is. Good job. Great. Where's the middle? -2, he says. -2 is 4 from this one and 4 from that one. So there's the middle. Great. So This is what the equation is going to look like. You ready? X plus 2 equals 4. Hold up. Flag on the play. Hold up. Is it that important?
It's my father.
And he needs to know right now? Okay. Deal. It's fine. As long as it's true, it's fine. That's fine. Great. Y'all are one of the things that I am working on teaching you really hard, sometimes trying to beat it into your brain, sometimes being surprised to discover that I've already beaten it in there a little bit, or maybe your parents did. That's probably the real answer. All right? Is to learn to adult, which is why I give you leash, which is why I don't say, if you make below a 70, you have to do corrections. I don't say that. You do corrections if you want to do corrections. If you want to fail, fail. Okay. Now, flag on the play. Where's the flag on the play? It's not wrong. It's right. But where's the confusing bit? The 2. Why is it confusing? Okay, so not because he's attached to the x. That's not why he's confusing. Not really, although that may be. But what feels wrong about that 2? Everything. No, stop. It's positive.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
So this is what you would think you would put, right? But let's solve that one and see what happens. Absolute value is by himself, and we've got x minus 2 equals 4, and negative x minus 2 equals 4. We solve this and add 2 to both sides. We end up with x equals 2, and we end up with x minus 2 equals negative 4. Oh, wait. Maybe I was wrong.
wait. What's happening? What did it happen?
Oh, no, I wasn't wrong. I wasn't wrong at all. I wasn't wrong at all. Great. Good. That's what I get for skipping steps. Good. Okay, hold on. Time out. Start over. Erase. Push your erase button for the last 2 minutes so it doesn't confuse you.
I didn't even.
Now let's actually not skip the steps and actually write it right. What do we do to solve for x over here? Right here. What do we do? That's easy. Plus 2. Thank you. Plus 2. Plus 2. X equals 6. What do we do over here? Divide by negative 1. Divide by negative 1. X minus 2 equals negative 4. Now what do? We plus the 2. X equals negative 2. Does those numbers match those numbers? They do not. You're lying. Look again.
No.
They don't at all, do they? They're backwards. Why are they backwards? Because you have to do the opposite to get rid of the thing, to move it over. So this has got to be the opposite sign from whatever the middle is. Bruh.
Wait.
For what?
For little less.
Like doing it on a repeat.
Where are you lost, girlfriend?
Starting the equation. So like writing the equation.
We need to know 2 things: the middle and how far it is from the middle. Where's the middle? From our original. Negative 2. So that's going to be what's in here. It's x, and then it's the opposite sign, so x plus 2 inside.
So if it was.
And then equals, and that's the distance from both of them.
So if it was so if the middle was 2, would it be negative 2?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And then
All correct.
Where do we get that? It's just
That's the distance. That's the distance.
Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're very, very welcome. So, we're pushing our time, but we are going to take a quiz because I really would like to know whether we understand this or not.
I'm good.
I think I'm chilling right here.
But we are going to disagree with past me and give you just that problem and that problem instead of that one, and that one. You say that, but that means they're worth more points apiece. So.
Oh yeah, so
We're all doomed.
we're doomed.
I won't be in next class. I'll be
I promise my head's about to move. I 100% promise that.
Bet. Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Tell us how you
There you go. For once, yes, you may leave when you are done with the quiz.
You said it for once
for
last
twice.
time, too.
For twice.
Did I? Is it for twice? Well, there you go.
Yay, for twice.
I can't remember back that far.
Can't remember back 7 days.
Nope.